Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Gemini in mid-May 2019. Hello, Gemini. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. All right, Gemini, first, right off the bat, happy birthday, or early birthday, technically, to you guys who will be celebrating at the end of May. Hope you guys have a fabulous birthday, whether you're celebrating at the end of May or in June, Hope it's a good time for you. Oh, look, cards are just flying all over the place. Now I gotta go get them. Hold on a second. Come here, you. There you are. So you have the Page of Wands and the High Priestess, so I'll honor it. High Priestess, you might be dealing with Cancer, or just have interest in the esoteric, or something going on with you spiritually, something going on in the center of yourself, your core beliefs, yeah? And the Page of Wands, you might be revitalizing, or somehow venturing off into a new line of thinking, or studying new philosophies, things like that. Like the Page of Wands isn't necessarily a student, but it does show intention, right? It does show being excited and very much interested in what precedes it, which is the High Priestess, which again are sort of centered in that spiritual realm, or this idea of, existentialism, maybe, is how I'm getting that. Very specific. So that's maybe for like one of you. Anyway, so yeah, happy birthday to you guys who will be celebrating, whether it's at the end of the month or all through the majority of June. I don't necessarily know, because, you're all strangers to me, yeah? Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get started. That's your main spread there. I've shuffled off camera to save time. I will shuffle now for your outcome and your overall energy. You will see a timestamp in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. It's totally cool with me. That's what it's there for. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me, okay? I'm all like skipping the bigger news of that. If you've been thinking about it and you haven't done it, I would suggest doing it sooner rather than later. The price for that very in-depth reading that I offer is going to go up on June 1st. So if you want to get the heftiest reading I offer, I would suggest doing it now before that price goes up, okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. Please show me Gemini's outcome for mid-May. Gemini's outcome in mid-May. Please show me. Boom. Very nice. Bottom of the deck is the top. Wow. That was weird. I was going to say the bottom of the deck is the top of the deck, which doesn't make sense, but they've been messing with me all day. I had a wonderful meditation before I started your video. I had a wonderful meditation before I started recording today, period. And it's just been weird. It's been effing weird, guys. So anyway, bottom of the deck is your overall energy, is what I meant to say. Let's go ahead and flip the card that came face down for you. Look at you. Look at you. Riding high again. Still, I think you've had some pretty positive readings, if I remember correctly. So let's figure out if the trend is continuing, shall we? Please show me Gemini's prominent energy in mid-May. Please show me Gemini's prominent energy in mid-May. Please show me. What the hell was that? My God. When I do a live, I'm probably not... It doesn't matter. I'm not going to talk you guys to death about what I might do in the future. But when I ask where the energy is, I wait. And sometimes it just comes and it's a visual and I go with it. Other times, things happen to my body. So again, I had a crick in my neck and my mouth went a little slack, to the side. It was really weird. That was weird. I don't know what the hell is going on the further I get into this tarot business, but they're coming at me strong. Anyway, Gemini, that has nothing to do with you. I'm having a moment to myself. I apologize. You come in to the mid-month period with the Emperor card. Major Arcana cards associated with Aries, so some of you might be dealing with an Aries, but you don't have to. This is you anyway. You a boss. You a boss, okay? Emperor is a ruler, right? Kind of says it in the name, right? We understand what that means. So you're overseeing something, Gemini. You might be head of a project in your job. You might be head of a household. You might be the lead on a school project. You might be, just a boss to yourself. You have your own business. You own your own small business. You own your own online store, whatever. But there's this idea of you have control. If it's not exerted control or defined control in terms of a role that you play in work, in your family, in relationships, whatever, you feel powerful. That's the point of this. You feel very powerful right now. You feel very much in control of whatever happens next, whether you go left, whether you go right, whether you do a backflip, a somersault, and then you land down in a death drop. You have the power to make that decision if you want to. And you are kind of, I'm going to tell you, some of you are really like milking that or really reveling in it. If you're not milking it, because I feel the milking is more for like those who are, this is a professional thing, where your job, like you've been given the lead on a project or you've just been promoted to some type of management and you're just like kind of walking around like your shit don't stink. Listen, we all poop and it all stinks, okay? So some of you need to like temper your ego a little bit and not let it run away with you. You know, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Don't get high on your own supply, basically. Be happy and proud that you have worked or you have been granted this promotion, whatever. That's fine to feel pride for that, but to kind of take that leadership position again in work, some defined role, not necessarily only in work, but some type of defined role where you've been elevated to a certain plateau. Some of you are really letting that go to your head, and I would advise you not to. I just feel that's dangerous when you do that, okay? Now, regardless of whether this is an actual position that you hold or a title or a role, it's more about this feeling. And the feeling for me, Gemini, is that this is something that you have waited for or that you've worked really hard for, this level of authority, this level or ability to make certain decisions, finite decisions that have effect, cause and effect. A lot of you are using this in a positive way. And some of you, it's actually over yourself. You know, you have total dominion and control over yourself, perhaps for the first time in your lives. You know, some of you might be growing up into your adulthood, or some of you are, late bloomers in adulthood. Maybe you're in your 30s and this is the first time you've lived by yourself. You've finally got your own apartment, or you've bought your first condo, something like that. And you really have this autonomy and the freedom associated with having the ability to choose to do whatever you want, whenever you want. Now, most of you are reveling in that, and it's fine. Others of you, again, specifically towards work and titles and roles that you play, don't let it go to your head, okay? Back to the internal space, please. Thank you. So, you've worked at this. Confidence-wise, maybe some of you have worked at your physical body. The Emperor associated with fire signs can talk about physicality and how we present ourselves to the world. So some of you may have had tremendous transformations physically. You've gotten yourself, maybe you've had physical therapy because of an injury or some type of surgery gone wrong. Others of you, it could be just change in terms of your diet and, your weight due to dieting, or so you've bulked up or you've slimmed down, whatever. And it's just like this, like I'm feeling like that thing that chefs do, like they do this and they put it up to their mouth and they go, magnifique, or whatever. It's just like you're finally tasting the glory of all the work you've put in. And for the most part, I like it. There's a few of you out here, a few of these little apples in the bunch. You're not rotten apples, okay? You're not spoiling the bunch, but there's a couple of you apples out here that might be a little sour, okay? Where you are getting your dues, and there's a chance for some of you to try and pay it back or shove it down somebody's throat. Like, you see this now, you see who's in charge now, and you're just like, no, don't do that. Please don't do that, okay? So, be careful. Excuse me. Anything else here? Thank you. So now that you've gotten to this point, right, Gemini, this leadership role or this feeling of being your own boss, of being in control of yourself and at the helm of your own life, right? You're very much interested in what happens next. you're very interested in it. Like, you feel like a kid in a candy store, which makes sense to your archetype, to you, what you guys are known for. Loving the what's next, what's next, what's next, what's new, what's new, what's new. Like, you're very much Gemini. You're one of those signs that's very excitable when it comes to prospects. You know, new challenges. Excuse me, I have to take a drink here. Hold on. Excuse me. But yeah, prospects excite you. And you have some in front of you. Like, what they are and what area of your life they're fitting into, I don't know. But you're in the perfect place to really magnify or really expand on something, or really explode into something new, fresh, new ideas, new energy. And obviously with the Emperor there, your goal to a certain extent, or in a nuanced way, is to conquer, is to absorb another territory. If you think about what an emperor is, so it's just an analogy. I'm not trying to say you guys are out there and you're warmongers or something like that. But any emperor, any great leader that ran an empire, is all about territory, colonization, if you want to think of it that way. Okay, this is all well and good. We've got all this land over here and we're doing well, but you know what? We've got this expendable cash. Our culture, or our society, is really into agriculture. What else can we get out here in the world? Our crop is corn. Oh, but look over there. We could get sugarcane. Yeah, but other people are over there. Fuck them. You know? Excuse me. It's not necessarily the best analogy, because I don't think you guys, like I said, I don't think most of you are out there acting like a dictator, or acting like a warmonger, or acting like some colonizer, and you're not gutless, or heartless. Or in some estimations, gutless. I don't think that, but it's this idea of, you're so fixated on expanding your empire, expanding and getting into new endeavors, that's where I'm aligning the energy for the Emperor. You see the possibilities and they ignite a fire in you so strong, so strong that nobody can stop you. Whether that's good or bad, your life will be your life, your path is your path, but I feel the desire and the lust after, and the drive you have towards whatever is new and on the horizon, you're very much unstoppable. Many of you, if not all of you, are pretty damn unstoppable. Okay? Now, excuse me, I apologize for coughing. Ooh. Are you, like, on a different trek? Yes. Oh boy. You guys are doing something that's different than what's happening with someone else. Someone close to you. Okay? So you're on this nice little trajectory here. Emperor, 10 of Cups. Yeah? Alright, so you're moving towards greater happiness, greater fulfillment, feeling more contented. Like, as you can see, these birds, or at least one of the birds, has like on a little party hat. So you're in the mood to celebrate. After you become the Emperor, after you're awarded whatever position you're awarded, some of you might be getting an award, and that's sort of like how you're being honored. Whatever you accomplish here in the Emperor, you get on that scale, you've lost another 5 pounds in 2 weeks, you're like through the roof. You know, you're entering amateur, strongman competitions or CrossFit competitions. Whatever you're doing, you're just accomplishing things. Boom, 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 checking all the boxes. And you are delighted, as you should be, right? When you hit goals, you should be happy. One second, hold on. All right, Gemini, sorry about that. So yeah, when you are accomplishing goals, you should be happy, you should be contented, you should really, celebrate yourself. Or some people might be celebrating you with the bird in the party hat there. So you just have like this beeline, this dead link between yourself here in the Emperor and that 10 of Cups. Like, you are intertwined with that energy. Even if you have minor setbacks, it's not enough to disturb your party. It's not enough to throw you off your game. You're really focused on achieving the next and the next and the next and the next. Just incredible ratcheting up, or yeah, it's just like you keep going. Unbridled, unstoppable. And there's only a caution. Look, you know yourselves better than I know you. If you have a big fucking ego, Gemini, and if you are over there throwing your weight around, acting like the big man in charge or the big woman in charge, and you're just like shoving people's face in your success, you're a sore winner, basically. No. I don't know how, I don't know why, I'm not allowed to know why, but that's not the way to go. If you're winning, be humble. If you're succeeding and if you're accomplishing what you want, celebrate, but don't go over the top. Don't kick people on the way up. Don't like shove your foot in somebody's face as you climb the ladder. Be respectful as you ascend. Be grateful and pay it forward or pay it back if you're coming into some. I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just feeling there's a divergence in this Gemini pool of energy that I'm connected with. Some of you, you're doing fine. Keep going. You're like I said, you're unstoppable. The other group, you're unstoppable too, but you ain't got to be a bitch or a dick as you ascend. Okay, some of you are being really rude or manipulative or, like I said, unappreciative, and it's just like, nah, bro, don't do it that way, okay? I don't know who that's for. Hopefully it's for a small portion of you. I'm not really getting it. I think it's not the majority, that's for sure. So, but you know yourself. If you're being a dick, don't do it. No, be careful. Because, I mean, everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. So if you give that out, it'll eventually come back to you anyway. So, you know, the winning streak won't last forever, friends. Excuse me. Now, like I said, I feel this is a divergent energy. I feel you have like a strong line between this side, and I definitely feel you're here. Are you here? Maybe. We'll figure it out. But on this side, we have suffering. Shit. Wow, suffering? Okay. Suffering and disappointment. Okay, cool. And it's not cool. It's not a cool emotion, but we're going to get there because we have the Hermit. Card of Virgo, so some of you might have a Virgo of significance around you, but you don't have to. On the other side of you is really how they're showing me this or making me want to talk about it. On the other side of you, so literally on the other side, like the person sitting next to you right now, whether they can hear me or not, this might be them. The other side of you, the person on the other side of the office, you know, you work in your cubicle and they're over there, or, you know, the other side of you, since you're a Gemini and you're represented by the twins and duality, the other side of you, so maybe the other mask that you wear, or the other Gemini, you know, the other twin, okay, however that resonates for you. So the other side of you, Gemini, is in this hermit phase, or is in need of, or has been doing this, or needs to do this, or will be doing this. Deep soul searching, going through the trash and the litter. Like, that's not trash on the back of that bear right there, but from a certain distance, like back here, can you really see what that is? Like up close, it's a bunch of flowers, right? But from back here, it might look like, you know, garbage. Yeah? But regardless of the perception of it and what images you can make out, there is this rifling through, having mess all around. Like, they're showing me somebody and there's like garbage at their feet and they're picking up each piece of garbage and they're trying to sort it out. They're trying to figure out where to sort things. This is recycling. This is absolute refuge. This is toxic waste. You know, it's just like, it's really maddening, frustrating, overwhelming for this person to do this. And it's a process, right? Bears are known for their long sleeps, right? Their long hibernation. So this process of having to sort through mess is taking a while or will take a while. Okay, somebody's on a long trip on the on the trash barge, you know, having to sort through all the garbage there. And it's garbage, you know, garbage is a very, I want you to work that word in however it fits for you, because that can mean many things. You know, typically with the Hermit, we're talking about emotional garbage, okay? Things that live or reside in the deep recesses of our minds, of our memory, of our life experience, of our hearts and souls, okay? It's like going down into the deep sub-level basement and encountering all the bullshit that's down there. And bears, like I said, hibernate, so it takes a long time. And when a bear is hibernating, from what I remember of like junior high biology class, is that they're not sleeping the entire time. They're actually doing things, you know. They've stored their bodies enough so that their metabolism doesn't get, I mean, it gets knocked, but it doesn't, like, you know, like the process of that long rest is actually proactive. They have to prepare to do it. They don't just one day get, all right, I'm going to go hibernate. It's like, no, like their whole bodies go through something. I think they eat more, I think, or something like that. Anyway, so the time spent sorting through the garbage is going to be extensive. And some transformation happens down there, because at the bottom of that bear, can you see that skull there? That to me indicates decomposition, which again takes time. So this side of you or this other person, heavy energy, dealing with the fallout from something or having to sort through things that are confusing, muddled, or muddied, like untying string or untying Christmas lights, like a big knot, and they're just like one strand at a time, pulling this thing apart till it's a long straight line again. They are tasked with that, and they're doing it, and it's not pleasant. It's a lot of bullshit. Like I want to articulate that better than bullshit. It's a lot of responsibility. Thank you. Hardship, nervousness, and anxiety, things like that. So this person is burdened. Whoever this is, could be the other side of you, whatever. Burden. Not having a good time. And that's interesting. Across the line is you and that Ten of Cups energy. Party on your side, having to sit back and not enjoy the party. Maybe that's, and it could be something as simple as that. Something as simple as that, Gemini. You're throwing a party for yourself, or people are congratulating. Oh, right, party, your birthday, hello. So you're being celebrated in some type of way, perhaps for your birthday. And there's somebody who's like burdened by your celebration. They're not jealous. This is not about they're a hater and they're over there drinking out of that red silo cup, not having a good time. It's not about that. There's something about while you're on the up and you're at your peak, this person is having to deal with mess, garbage, bullshit, somehow associated with your celebration or your ascension and your accomplishments. Again, it could be you. Okay? You'll know better than I do. Okay? And the reason this Hermit is at work, because you have the Five of Cups right beneath. What was the word I used? Despair? I don't think it was despair. I don't know what word I used when I was trying to get some type of keywords out here. But I said suffering. I know I said suffering, which I think is that element of the burden. The burden feels like suffering. And that makes sense. Virgo archetype is the martyr, one of the martyrs of the Zodiac. So that kind of makes sense. But I can't, was it despair? I can't remember. But that's kind of what is coming up now. Despair. Right? Because you've got this owl sitting over this nest. And right underneath its talon, you see those eggs and they're cracked. Which assumes that the baby owls have gone out. But the baby owls aren't here. So some type of loss and despair over the loss. Now, does that mean you've lost people, or whoever this hermit is, they've lost people? Not in a mortal sense necessarily, but just people have flown the coop to keep with the birds, right? And there's a I want something back the way it was before, is what this Five of Cups is. Or I want something back to some level of normalcy or familiarity that I have from a previous point. Now, if we're talking flown from the coop, baby owls hatching from eggs and disappearing, what I'm getting obviously is like a familial thing. Someone is suffering or burdened by or having despair over their children leaving the household, right? Growing up, becoming adults. Didn't I say that also? Some of you might be for the first time, girl or guy. It's not going to hit for everybody, but for that specific story, you might have a parent back home in that hermit energy. They stay indoors. They're just, silently sitting down every night, reading the paper or scrolling on their Kindle or whatever. And you're out living your best life, living in Miami or living, I don't care, in Salt Lake City, whatever. And you're just living your life, and your parent is at home upset because you're not their baby anymore. You're out there doing big things, succeeding, and they're proud of you. Your success the success or the partying here, the celebration here, is not the only reason why the hermit person is upset, or they're burdened, or they're having to go through deep, dark garbage and bullshit in their lives. It might exacerbate that feeling. It might stir it up, but it's not the reason, okay? So for some of you, this is like a growing pains kind of thing, or like not growing pains, empty nest thing. And on your side, you're out there feeling fine, becoming an adult, living your best life, while somebody back home is just like, oh, I miss Scorpio so much. And that's their burden. That's what they have to do, okay? If it's not a family thing, it still is this, I want something the way it was before, or I want things to get back to a place where I feel familiar, where I feel comfortable. The Five of Cups is not a comfortable situation. It is about emotional dissatisfaction. Well, not dissatisfaction, despair, like I said. It is about emotional despair. It is like crying over spilled milk. A lot of times you'll hear people talk about that with the traditional tarot, because, and you can see it a little bit here. There's this attention, as you can see. I mean, the owl looks pretty damn sad over those 3 cracked open eggs, but look in the background. There are 2 more eggs. So are you like the golden person in this hermit person's eyes, Gemini? Where you're off doing big and bad things and you're living your best life or whatever, and somebody's neglecting the other people that are also valuable in the situation, those other 2 unhatched eggs, okay? Number 1, 2 separate experiences for the most part, if this is external to you. If this is inside of you, you piece it together, you figure it out. But I don't want you to worry too much about this hermit person, because like I said about the bear, we think, oh my God, bears hibernate for such a long time. Oh my God, that's so crazy. And how do they do it? They do it because that's the way they're designed to do it. Animals do things and we do things that we are designed to do. Whatever's in our DNA, whatever makes us capable, we do the damn thing. Fish live in water because that's what their gills are for. That's how they're designed. You pull them up out of the water, things don't go so well. Bears, they go sleep in a cave for weeks and months on end or whatever. That's what they're designed to do. So whoever this is, that's their design. That's who they are. And if they're playing the world's tiniest violin, or they're posting things on social media and you're like, oh, maybe I should give them a call and check it. You can, but so for some of you, you might feel burdened or guilty about this person's position. Don't feel that way. Okay? That's their experience. They're fine. They will be fine. They can make it. Trust me. Okay? Oh, boy. Yeah. Oh, this is a lot of this. Yes, here we go. Outcome for mid-May, 10 of Pentacles. So obviously, this is family for many of you. And because the 10 of Pentacles, traditionally, and you can see it there on this card, is about generational history and tradition and what's carried on from one generation to the next in terms of family and legacy. Yeah. So for many of you, this flying of the coop, being your own person, being your own boss, going to bed when you damn well feel like it, not when your mom or your dad or whoever tells you to, buying whatever you want, whatever, there's such a freedom that you're experiencing, and you are becoming contented, because tens are completion points, and in the terms of the cups and the pentacles, we're talking contentment. Thank you. I was about to say contemption, which is not a word, but contentment, right? And then layered into there, or folded into there, is the concern of this person, the Hermit and the Five of Cups person, where they have concerns over what you might be doing, or what your brother or sister or whoever might be doing in the family, and how the family is changing. Because again, Ten of Pentacles also talks about that legacy and tradition. And the older generations are looking at the newer generations, the younger generations, and there might be questions, there might be worries and concerns. But from the younger generation's perspective, it's all good. So family is big for some of y'all out there, okay? If it's not family, what is the Ten of Pentacles? Well, we're talking also financial security, right? And if this is about your career and you're climbing that corporate ladder, or you're starting your own business and things are like picking up really quickly, you're getting orders in, you're hiring people and all that kind of stuff, you're seeing that momentum build. And therefore you can see this 10, 15, 20 years down the road, or even 2 years down the road. Some of you have really big entrepreneurial goals, and you're going to be able to retire sooner rather than later. Ten of Pentacles is about not wealth. Not saying all of you who are entrepreneurs are going to strike it rich. No. It's about financial stability, like the ultimate financial stability, like money in the bank that makes money on top of itself, okay? So we're talking investments and dividends and all that financial jargon, okay? This is not some living paycheck to paycheck kind of life. This is life that is firmly rooted in terms of financial and material concerns, okay? So you're working towards that, or some of you, like I said, I think I'm recalling Gemini's readings pretty clearly, and I think you guys have mostly been on this, ratcheting up, ascension, leveling up thing for a few months now. I think you guys have had a lot of beneficial energy, if I'm recalling correctly. And so some of you might see that payout sooner rather than later. Oh yeah, of course. Also with the Ten of Pentacles, inheritance is also a part of the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so money's coming in, stability's coming in, your contentment is there. There might be some dicey energy or a little bit of concern coming from this person and how they factor into the Ten of Pentacles, or how they're viewing the Ten of Pentacles. But ultimately, for damn near all of you Geminis, you're living your best life, you're having a good time, enjoy yourselves. So your overall is kind of interesting, but before I even... Yep, got it. Thank you. I'm like, what is the problem here? Because the Eight of Pentacles looks pretty challenging. And as if you're familiar with tarot, it is kind of one of those energies that's a little, like, not desirable. But I think this is speaking to... We all are human, right? And we all have ego, and we all have valuable attributes or traits, right? So along the way, Gemini, you wouldn't be human if you didn't worry. You wouldn't be human if you didn't, have doubts or second guesses. So that's indicated here. The other part, I think, is blind luck in some of your cases, which is interesting. That is not a traditional understanding of this card. But some of you have had blind luck, or you've had blind faith, which has turned into blind luck. And I like those two interpretations for you, okay? I like it in the sense of, one, you're not a robot, you're a human being if you doubt yourself. And number two, if you're just seeing yourself getting all these doors like opening up, and it feels really lucky, it feels opportune, perfect. That works for you guys. What else? Because the first part might be a little bit of a challenge, but is there anything else here? as an overall. There we go. Duh. So some of you today have just learned about this Hermit and this Five of Cups person, and or their perception of the situation or of the relationship. So you were blind to, previous to this point in the reading and or in your relationship with that person, that things weren't so good on their side of things. You're just learning someone has been sifting through a pile of garbage, trying to figure things out from this deep internal space, trying to make right with themselves or make sense of the circumstances around them. And you've just been like on your jollies, enjoying your progression in life. And you're like, oh, you're stressed? Mom, dad, sister, brother, Uncle Larry, whoever, or coworker, and in that other cubicle. Oh, I love this job. It's so easy. And they're over there like pulling their hair out. Are you going gray? Like you're just getting to see that other people are not having such an easy time of things or such a successful time as much as you are. Okay? Gemini, that is your reading for mid-May. If you liked it, you know what to do. There's a like button down below. You go ahead and hit that for me. You can also leave comments on the video. You guys know I love to read those. And let me know how it resonated with you. You can share the video across your social media platforms. I would appreciate that. And of course, the big thing that I would really appreciate is if you subscribe to my channel. If you've been coming here and you don't hit that button, why? Come on, guys. I like providing the videos for you. And if you want to show me that you like that I do provide it, all those buttons down there are ways to show me that, okay? So if you do any and all of those things, it lets me and YouTube know you're having a good time around here. It keeps the channel afloat, keeps the channel exposed and in circulation for new viewers to come. And of course, it grows and grows and grows, okay? So if you want to help me in those ways, I do appreciate it, all right? Gemini, you got some things to look forward to. I will be back soon with your June reading. Actually, no, before that, I'm going to come back with your birthday message. So you got that to look forward to. Then I'm going to come back with your June reading. So you got those two things to look forward to. I keep saying I'm going to do a random. I keep saying I'm going to do a live. I really, aside from the generals, the other things I really want to do them when my energy is right, when essentially the mood hits me, and it has yet to happen. I work a full-time job. I'm semi-social. Got a lot of things going on. So a lot of times it's just a matter of time management and everything like that. So hopefully I will do some of those other things in the future, and you guys have that stuff to look forward to. And if you're subscribed, you'll just know when that happens because it'll come up in your notifications, okay? All right, Gemini, I've talked to you enough. I've rambled on and on and on and on. Thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I really, really do, guys. Take care. Bye.